the first shot because I was tired of him sending these memes about the Cowboys. So I fired the first few shots. And I need to be able to win this weekend to fire some more shots. And yeah, I am petty. I am upset. We are 0-10 the last 10 games. Something has to change. Something has to change. So, Giants, please listen to me. I'm begging you. Win. I need to end this. I need to be able to respond to Cowboy fans and not with my head bowed down. So let's go, Giants. I'm starting a new thing. Dallas.
Oh, Lord. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Papi J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wize El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Papi J and Wize El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to this edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. Aaron Rodgers' injury has left the league schedule in a very, very tough spot. I wonder how tough. Because 4 snaps into his New York Jet career, Aaron Rodgers is done for the season. He suffered a torn left Achilles 4 snaps into his first game against the Buffalo Bills, and it was the most watched Monday Night Football contest on ESPN since the network assumed the rights of the broadcast in 2006, aside from Bills Bengals with Damar Hamlin. 22.64 million viewers across all channels and streaming options. So yeah. So that happened. Well, next man up, Jets. That's all I got to say. Who's next? Who's going to step up in the place of Aaron Rodgers and keep this going? Business officer and chief media and business officer Brian Roloff said, quote, "The Aaron Rodgers story is something a lot of people are excited about. I think you see that in our TV schedule." Except me. Who cares? It's Aaron Rodgers. Who cares? On Tuesday, league executives refused to express any discouragement as far as potential ratings in light of Rodgers being out for the season. Really? What's the matter? You scared? You're scared to say how much it'll affect you and how much you invested? You're scared to say it out loud? You shouldn't be. Well, I'm going to get some help on this. Now batting, the man who has shifted into football focus, number 420, Wize El Jefe. Number 420. I'm sorry, I can't do Bob Shepard as well as I once could.
What's
up, Wize?
What's going on, brother?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. So Aaron Rodgers is injured. And now the league broadcast schedule refuses to make a shift from it.
They refuse to make a shift from it.
Well, I'll read what I just read. I think the Aaron Rodgers story is something a lot of people are excited about. I think you see that in our TV schedule. And the Jets are in Week 4's Sunday Night Football matchup with the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. My next two words are these. Now what?
I don't know. We'll find out this weekend. We'll find out how it goes because they play Dallas this weekend. So,
God.
And
There
it's,
goes
you gotta understand the Jets defense isn't okay. So Dallas had their way with the Giants. The Giants offensive line is trash. There was no protection. They did whatever they want. It wasn't like their offense came and did anything. Their offense doesn't scare anyone.
Right.
Their offense is okay.
Right.
It's led by Dak Prescott. It doesn't scare anyone. But that defense is a changer. That defense, when you have to plan for a certain player, but everyone else around him is just as talented as well. There's going to be issues. And Micah Parsons is everywhere. He is all over the field. You line him up to the left, you line him to the left, up the middle to left, right. It didn't matter where you line Micah Parsons at. You have to put bodies on him.
You have to double team Micah Parsons.
You have to put bodies on him. And the Giants just can't. They just can't contain that man. He showed it last year. He showed it again this game. They can't put enough bodies to block him. It's like they seeing multiple Micah Parsons everywhere. They have no clue
at all positions.
So now the Jets they face the Jets who show you that we're not no slouch either because. They're in Josh Allen's head.
Oh yeah,
they've shown that offensively they don't have anything for that Jets defense.
No,
now
they had nothing. The Bills had nothing for that Jets defense.
Now the difference now from last year is Zach Wilson has Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook.
Big difference.
He had no running game after he lost Breece Hall.
Right.
No running game whatsoever. So teams could key off on him.
Mm-hmm.
Now you add a couple of weapons, a couple of receivers here and there. You got reigning rookie of the year in Garrett Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You have Brees Hall, who's back, and he's showing you that he is back.
Yeah, he is. He is.
With the 82-yard run, he showed you that he showed you he was capable. He's back. You got him. That's why you bring in Dalvin Cook to help ease the load. You don't have to. You don't really wear out on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing you he's capable to do those breakout runs like he did last year before he got hurt. So now it's different now. Now I feel you have Zach Wilson now having Brees Hall back and Dalvin Cook in the backfield. Having Garrett Wilson is a stud wide receiver. I don't care what anyone say. He's the offensive rookie of the year for a reason.
He is a stud. He is a stud.
You have Alan Lazard and all these other pieces you added. Now, if that offensive line can hold up and give Zach Wilson the time he needs, he'll be okay.
Because Dallas is bringing the pressure.
Are they Super Bowl contenders that they were before? Maybe not. But this is what it is. What it is. This is what they have to go to war with.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't keep
war,
and listen, if they can't keep Dallas's defensive line off of Zach Wilson, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah,
it's going to be a very long day.
And it's in Dallas, so you know the fans are going to be.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, I suspect it's going to be a long day. I really suspect it's going to be a long day. You realize 22 million people across all platforms, be it streaming or live television, watch that game Monday night. And it's a record for ESPN since they assumed the rights of Monday Night Football. That's crazy.
Everybody tuned in to see Aaron Rodgers premiere in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to leave early, but hey. I won't say he decided. It's not fun. He didn't last long, man. And now he might never play it down in New York. Because say the Jets have a full collapse. I'm not wishing this upon your team, McCarthy.
Right.
Say they have a full collapse and they suck.
Yeah.
And they get the number 1 draft pick. And Caleb Williamson decides to come out. You tell me they're going to say no and to not drafting him?
Oh, they'll draft him. If that's it. You know, the hashtag I kept seeing was tank for Shedeur Sanders. I kept seeing that yesterday.
Listen, if Shedeur keeps playing the way he's playing, why not? Why not? He's showing he's capable.
Mm-hmm.
He did it against Texas. What is it, Texas A&M? TCU. I mean TCU. I'm sorry, TCU. He showed it against them. They went to Nebraska. They beat Nebraska.
But to your point, who hasn't shown what they could do against Texas A&M?
Or TCU? Well, it's gonna be. Listen, if he keeps putting up these numbers, you got to give him consideration. You got to consider him.
True.
If he keeps putting up numbers, I'm sure they got tougher challenges up ahead.
But the main one they're watching is Caleb Williams out of USC.
Everybody wants Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, look at him.
Where's his best? But where would he fit aside of your question that if the Jets absolutely suck the rest of the year and they land that number 1 pick, would they spend it on Caleb Williams? I believe they would.
Hell yeah.
In a minute. In a New York minute.
It would be stupid not to.
Right. In a minute, they'd pick Caleb Williams. And for once, they'd actually, if that were the case, but we still have a long season ahead of us.
Bro, it would be the case, even with my New York Giants. Say D. Willie's prediction comes true and they go 1-7 and they suck and they horrible and they get the number 1 pick.
Snatch Caleb Williams.
Are they going to Daniel Jones or Caleb Williams? I'm not.
Caleb Williams. I'd go with Caleb.
Of course. Any person that says otherwise would be a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Any other one that says that any of this nonsense, this nonsense with if your team doesn't have a quarterback, they're going to draft him, or if they have a quarterback that's trash, they're going to draft him. Why do you think Arizona is trying to tank?
Because they
don't want to be stuck with Kyler Murray. They've seen the era of their way. Kyler Murray should have went to baseball
and stayed there. Because
he was not prepared for the NFL. He was not prepared for the NFL.
I think he was in the athletics organization.
Yes, the A's drafted him.
He was in the athletics organization, and he didn't stay there. He just wanted to play football, and he wasn't prepared to play, like you said.
He was not prepared. He was not prepared for the NFL in any way.
No, he wasn't.
First of all, you're at a disadvantage with your size, so that should motivate you to work harder.
It did.
That should make you want to work harder because you're already at a disadvantage compared to other quarterbacks. So to be 5'9" or whatever the hell tall you are, and then not practice your trade and improve when you trade and do nonsense and do all, you're not going to succeed.
No,
the NFL is a man's league. Listen, you cannot think that you're going to come in and not practice and not prepare and not watch game tape, not watch film, and do any of this stuff, and you're going to improve.
That's why they put the original provision in that they did when they gave him his extension,
and people made a big about it.
And they pulled the provision, which is stupid to me. Which is stupid because you're seeing the results.
It would have been like, no, I wouldn't have taken that. Listen, if he's showing you that he's not, these players think that, oh, I deserve this money. No,
you don't. You have to earn it.
You have to get paid for you getting paid for a job. Now that you're in the NFL, you are getting paid to do a job.
Right.
And that job requires you to be the best that you can be. And if you're not putting in the studying and all this other stuff to prepare you to do your best job, then yes, I think there should be provisions that your ass needs to go and study film at least 4 hours a day, whatever it is, how many hours a week, whatever it is, it needs to get done.
It needs to get done. And Kyler Murray hasn't shown any initiative to get it done. He's just coasting on whatever talent is remaining. Part one. And part two, he's in an organization, to be perfectly honest, that doesn't care.
Well, now you have a new head coach that didn't want you from the beginning. That's not his quarterback. The head coach they brought in, he came from Philly. He inherited Kyler Murray. And sometimes when a new regime comes in, they want their guy.
Right.
And obviously Kyler Murray's not their guy. And I don't blame him because he shouldn't have been the other regime's guy either.
No, he's not. He's
you have these and that's where I don't know where some of these scouts and evaluators are. I get it. They see the game tape in college. He had a phenomenal year in college. But we all know there's a big leap from the college game to the pro game. There's a huge leap.
Huge. And some of the quarterbacks that have been drafted lately have had one really good year. The only ones that you see that are really having truly success are the ones who you've seen 3 years from them, 3 to 4 years of them. Like Trevor Lawrence, you saw what he was. It wasn't just a 1 year hit with him. No,
you've seen multiple seasons of college and what he was capable of doing. Then you get Trey Lance, the example of Trey Lance. He had one solid year. And 1 year of good tape. And then he had a pandemic year where he didn't have anything.
It wasn't even at North Dakota State because he had a show-off game. Let's just call it what it is. He had a show-off game at North Dakota State, and he blundered. He messed up.
Then another example. Who the other example? The guy they drafted in Tennessee. What is it? Malik. Who is it?
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. 1 year of tape, of good tape of him.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, you're gonna go with him, and there's just some of these evaluations are just not fair.
No.
You're really just relying on one year of tape when when you should really be doing multiple years of tape and see and have them do this on a consistent basis.
Which explains to me a lot of lacking in their job that the scouts are doing in not evaluating more than 1 year of tape or just relying on one game.
Yeah.
Relying on not even a full season, but a half a season. Now the quarterbacks that were drafted this past year, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, we won't be able to make a full determination on them until 2-3 years down the road. But at the same time, CJ Stroud only was scouted, if you think about it, for 1 full year at Ohio State. And that was this past year where he took him to the playoff.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is dependent on the success of the player and not A, the overall success of the team, and B, they're not looking at his skills either.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. Again, it's not fair. They're doing these kids injustice by drafting them and then expecting them to be fully prepared when none of them have really been able to do this. There's just quarterbacking, especially quarterback in NFL.
What has Jay Spivey always said? The worst coach position is quarterback. And that's across the league. They're just looking, like Victor just said. Good morning, Victor. They're looking at a small sample size and not looking at the strengths and areas where they need to improve. They're not looking at that. Because had you looked at that, you would have seen Trey Lance needed to improve his throwing motion before he came out of North Dakota State.
Yeah.
You'd have seen that before then.
So yeah, it's definitely going back to the Jet situation. It's what other options is out there? You have to go with Zach Wilson. You have to. As much as we've joked about going,
who's better than Zach Wilson?
Yeah. Are you really gonna go out and sign Colin Kaepernick, who hasn't touched the field in almost 8 years, whatever it is?
No,
years?
I wouldn't.
Are you really gonna go and get Carson Wentz? Or do you really want to bring in Matt Ryan?
The bane of existence for Cool McCain, Carson Wentz.
But the thing was, Cool McCain said he would do that. He would bring in Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he did. He did say that. He did say that.
You have who else? What else do you have out there? Mike.
Well, here's a list.
Mike White is in Miami now.
And he won't see the field.
Oh, not the way Tua is playing.
No, he's not gonna see the field. Matter of, you know what? Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look at 12 options according to USA Today that would be viable options to replace Aaron Rodgers, and we'll also look at the reason why Aaron Rodgers is out for the year. Something with the turf. Back in a minute.
Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Everything Boston. I love you, you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Papi J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wize El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Papi J and Wize El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. 40 after the hour, 20 before the new hour, where we have the Cool Coach Hour. And Cool McCain and Coach Dante will join us. I'm joined by Wize El Jefe. Salute to you, sir. What's the brew this morning?
Actually, I gotta go get me some coffee. I'm done. My cup is low, but it's Bustelo with some French vanilla.
French vanilla? I gotta go sugar-free with French
that's
vanilla.
cold. It's cold. I need me some coffee.
I know how you feel. Was bad.
My
You
wife
know what
loves
got me
iced
so-
coffee.
Huh?
My wife likes iced coffee. I prefer my coffee hot. That's just me.
You know what's bad? The way I got hooked on coffee was through iced coffee in Chicago.
I don't like iced coffee. I like my coffee hot.
I
like
wouldn't drink coffee for the life of me. I
Mm.
wouldn't drink coffee. I wouldn't drink coffee for the life of me until one day in Chicago, I was at the train station. I was heading downstairs to catch the train to my assignment, and they just opened a Dunkin' Donuts at 95th Street. And they said, "You want to try some iced coffee?" And my body just shuddered. Went, I don't want to try any coffee. And then they said, "We could put some chocolate in it." Dead duck.
Yeah.
Dead duck. Dead duck. And you know how they get you with that, and it's free. So
He's
I
always good.
said, okay, I'll try a small sample. No, they didn't give me a small sample. They gave me a 30. They gave me a big cup, 32-ounce cup. Yeah, I was hopping all over the walls before the game, during the game. I even had energy to get home But when I crashed,
But I usually have 2 cups of coffee. Right when I'm sending. Usually, so when I work, I don't really drink coffee before work because then I'll be just running to the bathroom. But when I'm home, like Thursdays and Fridays, when I'm home, I'll have me my 2 cups of coffee and I'm good. But
yeah.
usually it's after when I get home from work, I'll have me a cup just to
Yeah, and I have to be especially given what my body's been through in the last 2 years, I have to be stationary. I have to be stationary because if I'm anywhere on the road and I have like larger than 8 ounces of coffee, we're gonna stop.
For me, it's early in the morning when I wake up because that's usually that's why I really can't have my coffee before I go to work because then I'm
right
bubble gutting on the way to work. But other than that,
Larry says that's not coffee, that's a dessert. Yeah, big one. Big one. And they loaded it with chocolate. They loaded it with mocha. So not only did I get the rush of caffeine, I got the sugar rush.
Yeah.
All right, to business. The executive director of the Players Association issued a statement Wednesday imploring all the league's owners to make a switch to a natural grass playing surface in their stadiums after the injury to Aaron Rodgers. I'll stop there and I'll ask you to offer your thoughts on that first.
Okay. So a player pointed this out that for the World Cup that's coming to the US, all the stadiums that are being used, right, are put in natural grass for the soccer players.
Yeah.
Why not have natural grass for your players? Like, because even now you're losing your investments to injury. Like the money you invested in Aaron Rodgers, now look at it going down the drain because he's out because he tore his Achilles. It's they need to figure something out because they need to put natural grass, man.
The only two stadiums I know of that have natural grass are Soldier Field and Levi's Stadium. Those are the only two I know of so far because they even flipped to a synthetic surface in Houston because they had natural grass when they opened.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's like you said, Wize, all the investments they put in, especially with these free agents. And this goes back to 2020 when the 49ers played against the Jets at MetLife Stadium and they lost 6 players to injury, including Raheem Mostert, including Nick Bosa. Garoppolo went down, and there were like 3 other players that went down.
Is it like AstroTurf?
No,
but it's still not. It's still not good. It's still not.
No.
So if you can find a way that you can make this grass anything like the real deal, then yeah. But it's just you're seeing too many injuries. Too many players losing seasons to injuries consistently. Something has to be done.
And Howell said, quote, "It makes no sense that stadiums can flip over to superior grass surfaces when the World Cup comes or soccer clubs come to visit for exhibition games in the summer, but inferior artificial surfaces are acceptable for our own players." Find the lie.
There is no lie. If you can do it for soccer, you can do it for the players that you invest millions of dollars in. And then the way these salaries are going.
Yeah, you got to make the investment. Other stadiums that feature natural grass, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, FedEx Field, Washington, D.C. I mentioned Soldier Field in Chicago, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Those are stadiums that I know of off the top of my head that have natural grass, and there's
not many.
with
There's not
natural
many.
grass.
Yeah, there's
No.
not many. There's not many. Well, I'm sure the Jets and the Giants are gonna have a discussion.
They should have never went to turf,
bro. It's again, it's an economical reason.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's not because it's about money. It's always about money.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you're affecting the bottom line, it's gonna be some changes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just.
But what more is it gonna take? What more is it gonna take for stadiums, including domes like the Superdome and Ford Field, to get natural grass? Because when the Astrodome opened in 1968, they had natural grass, but they didn't have the system in place to keep it irrigated, to keep the sun and the lights off of it. Now, with technology being the way that it is and being where it is,
there should be no excuses to why they can't have natural grass. This technology has evolved to the point where it can be done.
State Farm Stadium, Phoenix, Arizona, or Glendale, Arizona, they use natural grass. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, they roll in the grass into their stadium, and they have it in a field where they can get the proper irrigation, so it can be done.
Yeah, listen, they cannot say it cannot be done because it's being done already. Mm-hmm. So there's enough technology now with everything this shouldn't be happening.
No.
Like, everyone should have natural grass. Again, it's not cost effective. It's not. It's about the bottom line, and it's always going to be about the bottom line.
Yeah, and you're right. There's no lie to be found there. Speaking of investments, the Jets are putting their time and investment into Zach Wilson, but I found a list of quarterbacks that are available. And when I read to you some of these names, y'all are going to laugh in the chat, and we're going to laugh here. The trade options, the first name they have up is Teddy Bridgewater from the Detroit Lions. The look on Wize's face says it all.
Teddy was there already. He was already in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Jet. Okay. I already said Colin Kaepernick, Rick McCarthy. Already said him.
Someone else said him before us. They have Jacoby Brissett and Andy Dalton on this list.
No.
The next name they have on this list is Baker Mayfield.
No. Tampa Bay's not getting rid of Baker Mayfield. First of all,
no, they're not.
They don't have. That's no.
That was their only viable option after Tom Brady retired.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Next name, Mitch Trubisky.
Like, is it rookie Mitch Trubisky, the one that
no,
or Mitch Trubisky now?
No.
The Bears ruined them for the league.
They did. Matt Nagy ruined them. Matt Nagy's
Look, you're gonna see what's gonna happen in Kansas City now.
Oh yeah. Right. Oh yeah. The next two names, Jameis Winston and Kirk 2 Chainz Cousins.
Jameis Winston intrigues me.
Mm-hmm.
Cousins, hell no. I don't think he has the personality to fit New York. No.
He said, hell no.
But Jameis Winston does intrigue me.
Mm-hmm.
If you get the Jameis Winston that doesn't turn over the ball and is lighting up with touchdowns, maybe.
The Jameis that doesn't have a 30-30 season, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. No, we don't need that one. Now to the free agents. Dear God. Chase Daniel from the Chargers.
No.
I didn't even get the name out. This next one I know is going to garner a hell no from Wize. Joe Flacco.
Hell no. He's old. He's too old. It's time for him to retire.
Mm-hmm.
And he sucked last year for the Jets anyway. So
He did. He did. Matt Ryan.
hell no. He's washed.
I'm almost afraid to say this next
He's
name.
washed.
I'm almost afraid to say this next name, and it makes me glad that Cool McCain is not here.
Don't even mention Cam Newton. Carson Wentz or Cam Newton?
Carson Wentz.
No. You can't, and not because he's not talented,
Right?
Because he doesn't have the mental capacity to deal with New York press. No, I wouldn't even want to put that pressure on him.
What do you guys think in the chat? Let's go to the Fanatics feedback zone very, very quickly. Of course, this one of the comments that started it, and you got to spell Colin right. Michael 3000 says good morning. RC talks basketball, and Caitlin Clark. He says Zachary Wilson, in him we shall believe. I will not respond to that yet. The league can't flex any prime time game, can they? Not yet.
Nope.
Not yet. They can't.
I think it's after like week 5 or something like that. Or
yeah, I think it's week 5, which takes the Jets out of the equation until then. And Victor Locke gives a
what's up, Vic?
Greeting. Better yet, better Jets quarterback, Rodgers or Favre? Favre, because he played longer. He didn't complete the season, but he played longer than 4 snaps.
Who else?
JJ is with us. What flaws do the Jets have? Well, you're seeing one of them. Victor says you are continuously working to prove that you belong. Yeah, that's the truth.
And Kyler Murray does not do that.
No, Kyler Murray does not. Kyler just wanted to play Call of Duty. He should have just joined esports. No lie there.
I agree.
No lie there. Kyler in baseball would have been fun to watch.
I think he would have.
True.
And I think he would have made more money and not have to worry about
and
getting
lasted
smacked around.
longer.
Yeah.
And lasted longer. And then there's this. I read this one earlier. Most scouts are looking at a small sample size, not looking at the player's strengths and weaknesses and areas of improvement. Is quarterback being coached at all?
Not that I see.
Not that I see either. And Jay has said it. The worst position that's coached is quarterback. And we're talking about the turf. Seriously, Larry. Thank you, Larry, for joining us. They can have grass and domes. Yeah, we just talked about it with the technology that's out now. They can get it done. But then he backs it up with this.
Yeah, they need to get something.
Because that turf that I saw both Sunday and Monday night was not good. It didn't look complete. Especially when they tried to flip the logos.
Yeah, no.
Well, someone already said this, Ryan, so you don't have to leave. Someone already said that for you. No, Mr. McCarthy, they'll nab Antonio Clown. Dear God.
Wow.
Dear Lord.
All right. They're not, Larry. They're not.
Exactly. They're not. They're not. Now look at this. List. Chad Pennington, Phillip Rivers, Jeff Blake, Jamarcus Russell, and Terrell Pryor. No. Hell no.
And no.
I
out of all the names you just mentioned, out of all the names you just mentioned, I'd rather take Joe Namath as the state.
In the state that he's in
I probably would
right
too.
now. Same here. Because there's no, besides Zach Wilson, who's already on the team, there is no good, viable option for the Jets at quarterback right now, unless they, and I don't know why they put 2 Chainz Cousins on that list anyway.
Minnesota's not trading him.
No, they're keeping him until he retires. They're keeping him until he retires. We're toward the top of the hour. The Cool Coach Hour is next after a break. And once we come back, we're really going to have some fun because a Bills reporter apologizes for saying something stupid. Where have we heard this before? Top of the hour is next.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Papi J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wize El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Papi J and Wize El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
Y'all know what? Hey, cool. You know how much I hate this guy with a passion.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. 'Cause we take this job so serious.
I know this is going to come back to haunt me. I take Carson Wentz over Zach Wilson.
Oh no! And Dante walks off.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
11:03, and now it's time to bring these guys. Here's the coach. We're waiting on Cool to get here. What's up, Coach Dante? How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm doing awesome. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Morning, Coach. Morning.
Good morning.
Thursday night football tonight. Eagles and 2 Chainz cousins. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings. Speaking of the cool breeze, here he is. How are you, sir?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
You know, I need to. I haven't done this for Mr. McCain in a while. In fact, I haven't done it since the Super Bowl, and that is.
I know what you're about to do, sir. But before you do that, let's go.
What did you say?
It's game day!
Oh, that's what you said. Now I can back it up with this. Eagles are 1-0. Vikings are 0-1. This seems like a colossal mismatch. Let's get into it. We go up top to Mr. McCain. Break down, if you would, the week 1 victory over the New England Patriots, if you would, sir.
Sure. First, I'd like to say, what's up, Nicola? And what up, Wize and Coach?
What's good, my brother?
Oh, good, man. Good. Hey, man, week 1 was tough. Very disappointed in our play. Very disappointed in the play calling. So even more people than I initially anticipated are going to be out. So
really,
James Bradbury, he's not going to pass the concussion protocol. It takes at least 5 days. He was never going to play. Reed Blankenship is also out with a rib injury. Fletcher Cox may or may not play with a rib injury.
Yikes.
Nakobe Dean is not playing due to a foot injury. He had suffered it in training camp. He tried to play through it, but he re-aggravated it. And he's going to be out for at least a month. So, yeah, when you have 3 to 4 major cogs on defense that are not going to be there against a team that can score points. We'll turn the ball over, but can score points. So
right,
a little bit more concerning than it would be if we were, 100%. But at the end of the day, man, we found a way to beat the Patriots. Thankfully, mostly due to whack and cheese, right? He had a great day statistically, but he was the reason they lost. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate his inability to close out games and be the quarterback that all these Patriots fans want him to be against a depleted Eagles team that offensively were not ready for that game. So all I can say for us is thank whatever football gods there were that were on our side. Please stay on our side tonight. And then after that, hopefully we'll be at least a little bit better.
But why didn't y'all
I take wins.
DeAndre Swift more? Or did I
So
miss?
what I read was that he was having trouble picking up blitzes in the blitz pickup schemes, so that they didn't put him in the game as much. I don't like that, but I don't like pretty much most of what we did offensively that game. I don't like running Jalen Hurts up the middle like he's a fullback. I don't like not looking for a wide open Dallas Goedert. I just want to tell y'all something real crazy. I said this on Eagles Elite last night too. I forgot what show I was watching, but I was watching the show. So one of the idiots on the show is talking about, Bill Belichick is such a game planner. He decided he was going to take Dallas Goedert away. So I will say the same thing I said last night. How on earth are you taking somebody away if they're wide open and we're just not seeing them? How is that you taking them away? You're not even putting a man on them.
Agreed.
You just didn't see him because Brian Johnson, you better come out and you better call a better game tonight. And if you don't, Nick Sirianni, you better go snatch the headset from him and you better call a better game. Because if a better game is not called tonight, there's going to be problems. And Brian Johnson, you don't want that smoke coming in as the Eagles coordinator. You do not want it.
No, you don't. Downstairs to Dante. Quick preview from you about tonight's game. First Thursday night game, Eagles and Vikings in Philadelphia.
Just like Cool McCain said, but I'll take it even further. If somehow the play calling is lackluster, just like Sunday, I think Nick Sirianni needs to take over and take the play calling away from Brian Johnson. I think that's what needs to happen if the play calling is the same way. Like who said, Dallas Goedert is wide open by himself. Wide open by himself. Several times. Wide open by himself. And it's going to be hard, even if you game plan and if the plan, which is to take Dallas Goedert out of the game, which is that clearly wasn't a plan, you still got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So you can't just automatic just take one person away, and you still got the other two guys that can definitely have an opportunity to beat you. And again, New England defense is a respectable defense. That defense is not easy to score on. The Eagles guys wasn't really getting the separation that much much because Bill Belichick, he plays more of his own defensive scheme, and man to man, he mixes it up a little bit. So you don't know what Bill Belichick is gonna be running. But other than that, I think DeAndre Swift need to play more. Like when you're in those third down and shorts, I think DeAndre Swift and Penny should be playing more. I look at Kenneth Gainwell, like I told Cool McCain last night, that he's more of a receiving running back, like that you can use in the passing game. Yes, you can give him the ball every now and then, but he's more of a receiving back that can stretch the field. So I think that you need to get more creative with the play calling. And I think this game, you got to get Dallas Goedert involved. It is unacceptable for that guy just to not have any type of catches or any type of looks. I was just going
to ask that because I looked at the stats and I didn't see Dallas Goedert with a catch last week. Did I miss that, or is that accurate?
It's accurate. It's accurate. It's actually accurate.
He did not have a catch last week, and he's one of their best weapons. Let me ask you this, Coach. Did it seem to me like since that pick six from Darius Slay that the Eagles took their foot off the gas and played more tentative and was just hoping to get to the finish line?
I thought outside of the pick six, because outside of the pick six, you can argue Patriots pretty much put their foot down after that. After really pretty much the pick six. You thinking after the pick six, the game is over. The game is over. The Eagles about to run them off the field. But you got to just give credit to that New England defense, how they responded. It didn't look good for the Patriots offense. And one thing about that Patriots offense, what they did to get back in the game, they started attacking the middle. They started attacking the middle a lot more. They wasn't running the ball effectively. You give credit to the Eagles defensive line, but they started attacking the middle of the soft zone that the Eagles was running. And once they got one big run by Lamondre Stevenson, which was turned into an actual penalty, which is I thought it really wasn't a penalty on that, but the Eagles did get a break. Then you start seeing Matt Jones make those open throws that was wide open in the end. That was wide open in the back of the end zone and stuff like that. So I thought for us, Matt Jones did throw the game early in the game. I thought that's when the Patriots lost the game. They lost the game basically early in the ball game on the first two possessions of the game. That's what they lost. The middle part of the game, I thought the Patriots were playing better than the Philadelphia Eagles, but just because that early stages of the ball game right there that Matt Jones threw away, which is he's not going to be a franchise quarterback, and this is his last year to prove that he can be a starting quarterback in this league. I think that's what set the tone between those two teams. But the Eagles definitely got to the Brian Johnson got to get better. It's going to start with him tonight. It's going to definitely start with him tonight. But if the play calling is some like lackluster, then Sunday I will consider Nick Sirianni to take the play calling away from Brian Johnson immediately, like who McCain said.
This is our BetUS.com Thursday Night Football preview. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me go up top to Cool McCain, who broke down the injuries. Let me pose a question to you that I posed to Coach Dante. Did it seem like the Eagles took their foot off the gas?
So there's two answers to that question.
Okay.
First, I want to say Kenneth Gainwell is not playing tonight either. So we don't have to worry about them trying to run him up the middle like he's a big back. He's not playing tonight. He's out. So Rashard Penny should be playing as well.
Right.
Don't know why he wasn't playing week one. I assume it was a personal issue, but he should be in tonight. So what happened is we spent all off season making Nakobe Dean our defensive quarterback, right? Giving him all the responsibility as him running the defense. He gets hurt. It was either the end of the first quarter or the beginning, somewhere in the early part of the second quarter. I don't remember exactly.
Right.
So once he went out, we were no longer being set up correctly. You know, you guys know football, so you understand that the guy that's the quarterback of the defense, he's the one that says, hey, drop back, flip to the right. We're going to call the audible. We're going to go into this. We're going to step back.
He's the one that makes the calls.
He makes all the calls. He went out, and Christian Ellis, the guy that came in to take his place, had no freaking idea what he was doing.
True.
The other linebacker, you're right. He just got on the team a couple of weeks ago. He had no idea what he was doing. So we didn't have a guy prepared to be his backup and play caller.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what hurt us. Zach Cunningham nor Christian Ellis. That was the other guy, Zach Cunningham. So neither one of these guys had a clue of how to call the play. So there wasn't that person there to set those things up. So yeah, looking in, and I looked at it first, you know, as a fan, and I went back and I actually watched the game. It was on last night for those of y'all who had an opportunity to see it again or see it the first time if you didn't see it. And it did look that way looking as a fan. But understanding that our play caller went out, I'm like, oh, fudge. So I can't really throw shade at the DC because I felt like the play calling itself was not bad, but the execution was piss poor.
I love that phrase because my dad used to use that a lot on me. My dad used to use that a lot on me. Piss poor. And it looked that way. And again, it goes back to them taking their foot off the gas. The key departure to the quarterback of the defense, it just made the defense seem more confused than anything else. So let's go to our keys to the game, and I'll start with Cool McCain. Keys to the game tonight, driven by Ford, the official vehicle of Snowman Multimedia. Keys to the game tonight. 3 keys. I'll go to you, Cool, for 3 offensive keys, and I'll go downstairs to Dante for 3 defensive keys. Offensive keys of the game tonight.
We have to use the quarterback sneak. We have to allow our play style to fit our quarterback and continue to attack them big plays down the field because this is a defense that's susceptible to that. And Olamide Zaccheaus needs to see more playing time. Quez Watkins, whatever.
Downstairs to Dante. Defensive keys to tonight's game.
First of all, you can't let Justin Jefferson beat you tonight. You can't let Justin Jefferson get on the road. You got to stop him before he gets started. Got to apply pressure on Kirk Cousins. You can't let him sit all day in the pocket and just happen to find someone wide open. I don't care how good of a defensive line you got. I don't care how good of a secondary you got. If that quarterback has time in the pocket, he's gonna find a receiver is gonna pop wide open. And you also got TJ Hawkinson on that other side of the ball. Now which will make it more tougher to really game plan for Justin Jefferson a little bit more. You got Jordan Addison, who had his first touchdown. He looks explosive against Tampa Bay. So I think one of the key points of this game for the Eagles, You got to get a pass rush. You got to get a pass rush. You're not worrying about the Minnesota Vikings running the ball because I don't think they will be running the ball. But I think if that they're gonna definitely take the run away. But you then be disciplined. You got to be disciplined. You can't have penalties. You always got to be disciplined. Be disciplined on the defensive side of the ball. But I think the key, you definitely got to get pressure on Kirk Cousins in this game.
Why is your thoughts about tonight's game in Philadelphia?
I don't listen. I don't think the Eagles are still the same defense they were last year. They're definitely not the same with as far as their running game. I agree with Cool that they definitely have to get Penny and the other running back involved more because Gainwell is not that everyday down back that they have.
No.
They were trying to make him seem that first game. They used him like he had 3 good runs and they kind of steered away from their running game and it kind of hurt them in a way. But that defense, man, it's not as deep as it was last year. Last year they had a really great defense. They lost a lot of key pieces. They still kept some of the core and they added some of those young Georgia Bulldogs, but they're young. They're still growing. They're still learning the system and still learning to be a pro.
Yeah.
But if they can contain Jefferson, who else does Minnesota have? The Jefferson. They don't no longer have Dalvin Cook.
No.
Adam Thielen is doing his thing in Carolina.
They got Jordan Addison.
Addison, Hawkinson, the tight end from
Hawkinson. I actually know my Hawkinson because I got him on my fantasy team. But other than that, they don't. If you can contain Jefferson, there's no one besides the other. Addison is still he's not established yet. He's up and coming. He's great potential. You have the cornerback. You might say that Eagles might have the best combination of cornerbacks.
Not tonight.
One of the top 5. Huh?
Not tonight.
Not with Bradbury. Yes, not having Bradbury is going to hurt.
So Josh Jobe is probably going to start the order corner. So if you have Jordan Addison in fantasy, put him in your lineup.
Just remember advice from Cool McCain. Tomorrow, Mike Debate returns. We'll talk week 2, results of week 1, and all kinds of other things. Mike Debate returns tomorrow. That's our BetUS.com Thursday night football preview. It's the Vikings. It's the Eagles. It's on Amazon Prime. It's an 8:15 kickoff from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. A short break, and when we come back, a Buffalo Bills reporter apologizes for her hot mic, and also Colorado State coach Jay Norvell takes a shot at Deion Sanders' manners? What? But first, inside of more of that after these.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
everything Boston. I love you, you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Papi J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wize El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Papi J and Wize El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
We're indeed back 26 after the hour inside of the Cool and Coach Hour, along with Wize El Jefe. And Maddie Glab has issued an apology after a hot mic caught her criticizing receiver Stefon Diggs. What she said was, I just had it. There's no control over Stefon Diggs. Dude's going to do what he wants to do. He'll look in my face and say, bleep you. That's how he treats everybody. Said that on a video. It went viral. 1.5 million views. Yikes. Downstairs to Dante. Your thoughts first.
I mean, again, like I said, I say it multiple times. I think Stefon Diggs just frustrated because the Bills aren't winning as much as he expect them to. The team expect them. But if I'm making all those mistakes like Josh Allen has completely thrown away the game, I'll be pissed off as well on the sideline as well. If I have to tell my quarterback, hey, to do this and stay smart, be smart, that means he's not being smart. So other than that, I don't mind him being pissed off on the sideline, but it's some things you can only go over the line with. But I think it's absolutely wrong for Stefon Diggs. But other than that, I'm not going to get mad at him for what's going on the football field because Josh Allen is literally threw the game away last night. So I'm not going to be so frustrated at him. I just think he's frustrated because this team is expected to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs, Cincinnati Bengals. They're not getting to the AFC Championship. They're not winning games. So I think that's what Stefon Diggs is more frustrated about.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Upstairs to Cool McCain. Your thoughts?
If I was Stefon Diggs and I was trapped in Buffalo, I would be like, F everybody too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Honestly, y'all brought me here under the premise that I was going to have help. I was going to have other guys to help me out.
Right.
Tight end, nah. Other wide receivers, nah. Quarterback, nah.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to be pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reporter's fault because you shouldn't run around talking ish about a player out in public. You know, you want to talk ish about somebody, you go do it, you know, in your own, on the side.
And now have a hot mic.
Right. Where there's equipment around, that's your fault. Whether you meant to say it or not, and you may have meant to say it, you just realize you got caught. And now you got to try to cover. But if you just don't say it in that particular setting, you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Our quarterback out there literally throwing the game away, throwing the game. Not only throwing the game, but you throwing it in double coverage. You're throwing it in double coverage. Absolutely, you're not. Those interceptions and turnovers. It's not like they're tip passes. Passes. These are forced interceptions. Literally,
double coverage.
It's called double coverage.
Davis. Yes. We're not talking about double coverage to Stephon Diggs.
No,
we're talking double coverage to Gabe Davis.
Davis. Of all receivers, Gabe Davis.
Serious.
Gabe Davis. Downstairs to Wize. Your thoughts?
Listen, how many people have been good? Like, how many times do people got to get caught on hot mics? Like, we've seen a bunch of people get fired in the last few months because they get caught on hot mics.
Yep.
Listen. Maybe keep your comments to yourself to when you get home and you know there's no hot mics and you want to express it. Yeah. How do you expect not to be caught? Because if you're especially in a setting where everybody, you don't know who has recorded, who has something on.
And you're a part of New York media. Doesn't matter if it's Buffalo, doesn't matter if it's New York City, doesn't matter if it's Brooklyn. You're a part of New York media, the largest media market in the country. You're part of the largest media market in the country.
Sometimes you can't explain it, man. People just
no, you can't.
People just morons, man. Just
here we go with the more.
You just give an idiot a mic and let them do their thing. They'll give you gold
every time.
Jason Whitlock is a prime example.
That's the example I was thinking of too. Was the perfect example.
Jason Whitlock is a prime example, man.
Well, you give him a mic and
what hasn't he said? What hasn't he said?
The stuff.
Dare I ask such a question,
bro? This latest stuff he said about Dion. It's just ridiculous.
What did he say, or do I want an answer to that question? What did he say?
He's just trying to say that Dion is using God and all this other stuff when he's just he just goes into this nonsense of trying to destroy Dion, trying to bring Dion's sadness down.
Not again.
And what he doesn't realize is what the words Dion speak is inspirational. Every time you hear Dion speak, is nothing is all positive.
It's all positive.
Yes, it's always trying. It's always about uplifting and building yourself up.
Is he hard on his players? Yes, but he's motivating them to get and be better. I mean, I heard the end of a practice where he looked at some players and he's bluntly said, "When are y'all going to step up? We need some dogs. When are y'all going to step up?" To me, I think that would motivate you to want to get better and fast. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
People still going off that, a lot of coaches still having a fit because he got that whole 1-11 team up out of that school. Only one person stayed in part of that school. That's the linebacker. So if you're going to still be petty and pissed off and challenge the man personally, that I don't know, man. I say it seems like these guys went out there. They beat the hell out of Nebraska. That seems like motivation to me. They won pick the win versus TCU. That seems like it doesn't affect the players to me. So it looked like he's been a motivator. He's been a father figure to all of these players.
They were a 20-point underdog against TCU.
Yes,
they were a 20.5-point underdog.
Those coaches did not like the way he handled the transfer portal, and he got all them 1-11 guys up out of that. If I was a coach, I'd do the same goddamn thing too. I want all the losing mojo up out of this locker room, and I'm bringing in some winners. I'm bringing in some people that want to work, that want to win. I want
to earn their spot, which is how Dion started his tenure at Colorado.
And that's his program.
He didn't hand out any jerseys. He didn't hand out any numbers because he told his players to earn it. He told his players to earn it. Now they get Colorado State, which is the back end of this doubleheader story that I want to hit. They get Colorado State Saturday night in Boulder. This is not being played in Denver. This is being played in Boulder on campus. And Jay Norville appeared to criticize Deion Sanders when that he takes his hat and glasses off when he talks to grown-ups because that's what his mother taught him. By contrast, Sanders often wears a hat, sunglasses at both at news conferences when appearing on camera as head coach of Colorado. Norville's comments came after he said his players had to do videos with ESPN this week in the build-up to Saturday's game. He said they came away from that with a chip on their shoulder. Okay, that's good. That's good for the kids, but why are you taking shot at a coach that has already doubled the wins that Colorado had last year? You want your kids to have motivation? I understand that. They're going to have motivation because they're facing the media darlings right now in the Colorado Buffaloes. But let your on-field play do most of the talking, because now you're just going to give Colorado even more bulletin board material with this. You're going to have even more stuff hanging in Colorado's locker room, and I wouldn't be surprised if Deion got a hold to this and pinned it up in the locker room and said, they're still not taking us seriously. Why are people still not taking Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes seriously? Let me go downstairs to Dante. You first.
I mean, I think like if I'm Deion Sanders, I think that's the way he likes it. That's the way he just likes it. It fits right that for him. You don't got to take him serious, but all Deion about, they're gonna show it, and they're showing it by beating TCU. Like, I mean, you got a 20-point underdog. They didn't give you a puncher's chance to even win the game. Right. They didn't even give you a puncher's chance to even win that game. So that's a good stepping stone for you. And then they come out and they struggle in the first half versus Nebraska, but they get it going in the second half. And right now, this team look like they're going in the right direction. They on pace to win at least 8 to 7 games. They on pace to win at least 8 to 7 games. And I think they can win at least 8 to 7. I mean, their schedule's not all that hard outside of USC and Oregon State. I think they got a chance to beat everybody else. I think it's a 50-50 game between everybody else, the UCLAs, but definitely, like I said, I think Deion Sanders, like I say, he's going to win 8 to 7 games. He's going to get a bowl game. And next year, that's when the fun is going to start on the road, I think, for Deion Sanders. Next year, next offseason, next recruiting class, transfer. He's going to get guys from the transfer portal as well. He's going to be big on that, too. So next year, you will see more of the fun from Deion Sanders. Next year, you will see more of the fun.
Wise to you.
He bucks the system, man. He's not your regular head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He has the celebrity, the fame, and all that. Yes. He also has that dog in him. He has that workman. He has that work-like mentality in him.
Yep.
No matter how much y'all want to talk about calling him prime time, Deion puts in the work to build what he is.
And he's always put in the work.
Bro.
That's one thing I've so admired about Deion.
And the fact
he's
that
always put in the work.
And the fact that he's doing it his way.
Yep.
Not the normal route that all these other college head coaches took or whatever to build their system. He is building his program his way.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't like that. Because Deion, listen, there's as much as anyone might dislike Deion because they say he's arrogant, brass. Nah, man, he's confident in himself. He knows what he's capable of.
Exactly.
And he's coming in with the mentality that, listen, if you guys give me your all, I promise you, you're going to benefit from it. If you should go out and do the work, you're going to benefit from it. And he's doing stuff these other head coaches aren't doing. He's being hard on these players, yes. But at the same time, he's also inspiring them and showing them, and listen, look what we did. Nobody thought it was going to be TCU.
Sure didn't. Because
they were all these. You got the media really. You got the media really hating on him. Trying to, he's this, he's that. Nah, man, y'all just mad because the man is proving y'all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody abandoned ship and left all these Colorado players, he was happy that they're like, good. That means I ain't got to cut y'all.
Right.
Y'all left on your own. Look, good. I was gonna cut half of y'all anyway because y'all was trash.
You will suck. You was 1-11. You 1-11.
1-11 last year. He's already in the first 2 games. He's already matched. He doubled up wins.
Yes,
and each time he scored 30 points. I think there was only one game where Colorado last year scored 30 points. He's done it twice now. And now he gets Colorado State in their house. It's a 10 p.m. kickoff, and he's a favorite. I hope they run them over. I hope the Buffaloes just run them over on Saturday, and the train continues for Deion Sanders. I really do. Because now, I'll say it again, you're giving him even more bulletin board material with this.
I don't even think
Everybody has their style.
I don't even think he needs that bulletin board material. Because he inspires and motivates them enough. They don't need that stuff on the board. He's in there talking. He's telling them how. Listen, Deion's in there telling those kids how it is.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't sugarcoating anything. And for those people who think that he's probably easy on his kids, he's probably harder on Shador than any other player on that team.
He was that way at Jackson State with him. I find that not to be a surprise.
When you're willing to coach your son a certain way, can't nobody say nothing like, yo, listen, this is what this is how I coach my own son.
Mm-hmm.
And parents feed into that. They're like, shit, if he's like this with his son, okay, let's do it. They like, a lot of parents respect what Deion is doing.
They do.
But again, the media wants to label him as, oh, he's this arrogant, cocky dude.
He's not cocky. He's confident.
He knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you know who you are and you buck the system and you don't want to be who they want you to be, you're going to be villainized. You're going to be the bad guy. It's point blank. When you're going up against the Matrix and you're the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're changing the system. They don't want
change. And you have the nerve to change the system. You have the confidence to change the system. You have all right, I'll say it plainly. You have the balls to change the system. And no one does not, and not a lot of people like that. But when you have the nerve to do it, and you look them in the face and say, either roll with me or don't, then Wize, I agree with you. There's no more bulletin board material needed. None. And they're a 23.5-point favorite. It's going to be even worse than that. And Victor says it best. It brings him back to the old school where hard work pays off. Better believe it. Better believe it pays off.
And there's one thing they was talking about. Listen, y'all beat each other up during the week.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, and on Saturday, you go out and beat the crap out of them.
Beat them. Yep. You beat them up. You beat each other up during the week.
Out the week. Beat each other up. And then when the Saturday come, take all that beating y'all took from each other and just deal that out to everyone else.
Yep. I'm just patiently waiting for my turn. I'm not interrupting anyone.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Cole. It's all yours.
Let me get me a breath in first here. All right. So I could, first of all, I completely agree with everything that you gentlemen have said. Mm-hmm. I also want to add the fact that he is a black man doing this. They don't like that.
No, they don't.
Right. They don't like that. Also, he said what he was going to do, did it at Jackson State, left, said what he was going to do, doing it at Colorado. They can't stand that. He has excellently and masterfully used the transfer portal and NIL, right? We're talking about coaches like Alabama's coach Nick Saban. We're talking about coaches like Clemson, Dabo, what's his name? Dabo Swinney. They don't use the portal, and they're not as good as they were. They're not using NIL, and they're not as good as they were.
True.
So he's getting that. You've got Travis Etienne Jr. saying on social media, maybe my brother need to go play for Coach Prime because, you know, his brother's in college.
Yes.
So you're going to have high-profile kids from other schools say, I think I'm gonna go over here to Colorado. I follow Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders puts on his social media, DM me if your kid want to come play. So he is going out and he's doing the things.
He's
to get
recruiting.
Kids. He is always recruiting, right? So he's going to lose some kids this year. Now, about this actual game, I'm going to approach this from a different angle. Again, y'all have already approached it correctly, so there's no need for me to go back and say the same thing y'all said again.
Right.
There's 3 kids on this team that are going to go out there and bust Colorado State in the mouth all over the place as much as possible. Those 3 kids are Shiloh Sanders, number 21, Shedeur Sanders, number 2, and number 12, Travis Hunter. So you look for those 3 numbers because those 3 kids, 2 of them are his biological kids, but Travis Hunter is just like one of his kids. You're not going to talk about their dad/father figure and get away with it. So all you're doing is you're taking at least 3. And I'm not saying that most of the rest of the kids won't play a little bit harder because he said this, but those 3 are going to go out there and put it all on the line because you're disrespecting their father figure or their father, right? And you don't do that. And Norvell, I don't like the connotation of what you said. If I was Deion Sanders after the game, I would slap you in your face because you're trying to say or insinuating that you think my mother didn't raise me properly, right? So when you talk about my mom, and my mom is deceased, so I would really knock you out and take the jail fine and keep it moving. When you talk about someone's mother and how they were raised, bro, you're going a whole different level. So if I was Deion, I wouldn't shake your hand after the game. I would walk right by you and go talk to the reporters because you want to come at me like that, bro. That's on a personal level. That has nothing to do with the kids playing. And I would knock you out for that. Point blank.
And that's what Shedeur says. Shedeur said he takes that very personal, and I hope they do. And no, I know they will. Let me change my statement. I know they will. And Trisha, good morning to you. I know they will.
I would take it very personal as well. You can say whatever the hell you want to say about me, but you talk about my family. That's a different. That's a different.
That's a line you don't cross.
Yeah, that's something you don't cross. So I will actually chop him in his damn throat. That's what that he would get a throat chop, throat chop for me. So other than that, they just don't like the way this man changing the landscape of college football. And just because, like Kool McCain brought up with Clemson, look where they got him against Duke. He got him a whooping. He got him a beat. He got him a beat down. They struggled for a half against Charleston. They struggled for a whole half against Charleston, but it's going to be a massive beatdown Saturday night. It's going to be a massive beatdown by Colorado Saturday night.
It's going to be nasty. And it's in Boulder. I'll say it again. It's not in Denver because remember, Colorado and Colorado State usually played at Mile High Stadium in Denver. This year it's in Boulder. Oops.
Oh, and FYI, people were just going crazy trying to get tickets to this game all week.
Oh, I believe it. They were trying to do that all season.
Bro, you got all these celebrities. You got everybody showing up at Colorado games, man. You got
Michael Irvin on the sideline.
You got Terrell Owens. I seen a video with Terrell Owens being over there. Cameron, the rapper, was over there. You got all these celebrities and all these Hall of Famers. He has a lot of Hall of Famers showing up on campus.
Yep.
Hall of Famers. So now you can imagine these kids are able to speak to these Hall of Famers and learn from these Hall of Famers.
Yes.
It's different, man. It's different. Deion brings a different element to the game. He is bringing his friends who are Hall of Fame players to come speak to his kids.
Yes. That he is. And
you got Warren Sapp on your coach. Warren Sapp on your coaches, bro. You know what it is to have guys that you've seen growing up coming across to talk
that
to
you played with and played against.
And keep in mind, Deion is also a Hall of Famer too.
Yes,
right?
he
so
is.
You have a Hall of Fame pedigree, and that's why you have all these Hall of Famers around because you wanted the club.
And Michael Irvin actually talked to the team after the Nebraska game.
They want to see Deion be successful. They want to see Colorado be successful because they understand what he's trying to do. And see, I half love, half hate Michael Irvin because he was a Miami Hurricane, so I love half of him. But then he was a Dallas Cowboy, so I half love and half hate Michael Irvin. So when we balance it out, I like Michael Irvin.
He's retired. He's retired. He's no longer playing, so it's kind
Doesn't matter. He still has the Cowboys member in his.
He still has that stench on him.
Yes,
he still has that stench
his,
on him.
and he still has their member placed somewhere close to him at all times.
I think I better take a break.
I PG'd it as much as I could.
I'm gonna take a break before these two start fighting. We'll wrap it up after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Your afternoons just got better with the Brian Snow Show. Weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on aboard and enjoy the ride, folks.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVNow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
PK Tire Pros, your one-stop on-the-spot auto service headquarters for a complete line of quality tires and auto services. For years, we have provided the Stockton, California area with the latest products and unprecedented services for everything we sell. And for years, our customers have been coming back. Take a look around. If you don't find what you need, visit us in Stockton, California. From the latest and best in tire technology to the services required to keep your vehicle looking good and running great, PK Tire Pros can get you out on the road quickly and at an affordable price. Stop by soon to see why so many people consider PK Tire Pros to be the one-stop shop for all of their tire needs. At PK Tire Pros, our friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service professionals, and affordable prices all come together to make driving out on a new set of tires easy. On top of that, we never tire of tires. Stop by and see us, and you'll be glad you did.
Cause we take this job so serious.
The f is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
Oh, boy. Down the stretch we come here on this Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning, inside of the Cool and Coach Hour. Now, I know we're going to do all our picks tomorrow, but I want to introduce something. It's called the Lock of the Week. And I want to go up top to Mr. McCain first. Give us a game that you think is an absolute lock that's going to happen. And for you fans in the Fanatics feedback zone, give me your lock of the week. So give me your locks of the week also. We'll put we'll light them all up here in the chat. Mr. McCain, you first.
I'm gonna give you 2 locks, and you can lock these for me every week. whoever plays the Arizona Cardinals, and whoever plays the Indianapolis Colts. I don't even need the schedule. Those are my locks.
Dante, you next.
My lock of the week, I'm going to go with Miami over New England. I think Miami is going to win this game by at least 2 touchdowns. As long as Tua can stay on the field, you've seen what they can do. You know what they can do. That Chargers, he made that Chargers defense look like it was no defense out there. But it was just like pitch and catch, 7-on-7 football. 466 yards. I just think they're way too talented for the Patriots. They also, I think the Patriots' inability, to not to be able to score so many points. I think they lackluster at the wide receiver position. Right. I think they try to put the 2 tight ends out there just to get more competent on the offensive side of the ball. But if they don't run the football well with Ramondre Stevenson, this team is it's going to be hard for this team to win. I just think Miami is the better overall team, better overall quarterback, better overall receiving core, I think the defense for New England is going to have to keep this team in the game. But how long could this defense hold if the Patriots are not going to score the football on the Miami Dolphins? And I'm going to go with the lock of the week is the Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. And like Cool McCain said, whoever plays the Arizona Cardinals, that's basically like a damn free win. That's basically a free win. Whoever plays the Arizona Cardinals, that's basically a free win.
That would actually be the Giants. That's
my block of the week. Actually, is the Giants over the Arizona Cardinals because
I'll give you that.
The Giants got manhandled by Dallas or abused. I don't see them getting donut 2 weeks in a row.
No, not against this team.
I think Isaiah Simmons has something to prove. I think he's going to harass their quarterback. It's going to be a different Giants team than what we saw against Dallas. It was putrid, to say the least. One of the worst games. I didn't even watch the game, so I don't really care.
You're the second Giants fan I know, Wize, that said before the game we're not winning, so I'm not even watching.
It was a Sunday night game.
He was like, "Let's just watch anime instead of watching this. I don't want to watch it."
Bro, no, bro, I gotta be up.
Let's watch anime instead of watching.
I gotta be up at 2 a.m, man. I love my Giants, but I love my sleep a little bit more. So I didn't watch the game.
You ought to be glad you didn't watch that game. You ought to be glad.
Believe me, I know.
So why
I was supposed to call that game, but I got back from picking up my daughter. I sat in this chair and I kept telling myself I'm going to pick it up from whatever point I'm at. I turned to this monitor, and then the critical mistake I made was I leaned back in this chair, and the next thing I knew, I was out.
I called the game. I turned it off at halftime. I turned the game off at halftime.
I'm sure you weren't the only one.
Bro, I want to let you know, bro. I was going to send you the Alvin and Chipmunks version if you had a bad day. But then I said, this is my guy. Too soon. I'm not going to do it. So I did not.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about that. I was already being harassed, man. Marvin Otero kept harassing me. This is my cousin. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan, so y'all don't have Dallas Cowboys fans. Y'all don't have to worry. He harasses me enough. He sent me memes. He like by halftime, I was asleep, waking up to a text. Hey, I didn't like this. So I was like, okay, all right, I gotta give it to him. I'm like, I can't say nothing. How can I say that my team got abused? I have no response for anything he sent. So, but it's all right because at the end of the day, they're gonna end up in the same place we're gonna end up at home. So they can celebrate victories, but they're gonna end up home. They're not going. They can believe they're going to the Super Bowl all they want. That offense is not scary.
That offense is not.
That offense don't.
They didn't do nothing special on offense. They didn't do nothing on offense at all.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
And in the Houston, Texas, don't forget. They get the Indianapolis Colts and the quarterback that don't know how to read defense at all. So I'm telling you, if you play those two teams, if they play each other, I'm giving it a tie. Nobody can win. But that
second straight tie in Houston.
Seriously, no. Houston is going to win this game. Houston is a better team than the Indianapolis Colts. Every team in the league is a better team than the Indianapolis Colts, except for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, it has nothing
Every
to do
other
that you
team-
don't. It has nothing to do that you don't like the head coach, right? Oh no, you don't like the Arizona head coach. That you don't like Gannon. Gannon's the Arizona coach.
Yeah, I don't like Gannon.
Yeah.
But the problem is he doesn't have talent. So even if he was a great coach, you don't have talent. That team sucks, right? Their best receiver is in Tennessee. Their second best receiver, nobody even knows. Their running back room is one guy that's solid, but I mean, he was booted out of one organization. They went another way, so he's not great.
If you got,
they got some pieces, but most of them are gone. And please, just get tired. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I won't say his name no more. Just get tired of playing there. We need a safety. Just get tired of playing there. Make him trade you, please. Sorry, y'all. Just I said enough. Maybe speak it into existence.
This how bad the Cardinals is. If you got Marquise Hollywood Brown, your number one wide receiver, that's just how bad it is. It's just how bad the Cardinals are. If you got Marquise Hollywood Brown, someone that's inconsistent catching the ball, that's how bad the Arizona Cardinals actually are. And Joshua Dobbs is your starting quarterback. Yeah. Yeah.
And why it doesn't hurt?
I hope the Giants shut out. I hope the Giants shut out the Cardinals. And my lock of the week before we get out of here will be in SoFi Stadium, because the 49ers are going to go into SoFi Stadium and beat the ever-loving hell out of the Los Angeles Rams. Because after what I saw Sunday in Pittsburgh, I'm sorry, Playmaker, but the Rams have nothing coming against the 49ers. Now, this is before 3 days later we host the New York Giants in our home opener. But it'll be 9 in a row in the regular season that the 49ers will have beaten the Los Angeles Rams. Those are our locks of the week. BetUS.com is the sponsor of that. What are you guys' lock of the week? Let us know in the comments down below. For Wize, for Cool McCain, for Coach Dante, thank you all for joining us. We are going to go ahead and get the hell up out of here. I hope you all have a great day. May God bless you. And if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. And always make your next move your best move. We are out of here. God bless y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.